Welcome back to This is the Police. It's day 87, October the 9th, a Wednesday. Nudists demand a private beach in city. And juvenile vandals forced to clean graffiti. And homelessness increased by 13%. Nothing spectacular. What are we doing here, Mafia? Yeah, I don't understand this one at all. City Hall bloody loves me for no apparent reason. And Amos can hardly walk straight. Can you go home? Yes, you can. You are a bit tired, but too tired. You can hardly walk straight. Can I go home? Okay. I'll let you have the day off. Everyone else here, yep, that does seem to be okay. City Hall has found a reason to be pissed off at me, despite the fact that we got a good rating. All three thumbs were up, and they were all green. But let's have a look here. According to recent reports, the FPD is hiring police academy graduates with the lowest grades. This is shameful, not just for you, but for the entire city. In the next 2 days, send at least 4 cops for retraining. If you can't teach them anything, let the professionals step in. Why, mind your own business. All right, let's have a look here then. How do I do that? Okay, what do we got here? Shooting. All right, we deal with this first. Shooting at the Atticus Tower. An office employee came to work earlier than usual and heard gunshots and screams coming from up the roof. I always work on the top floor, and I've never noticed anything like this before. We'll send down Shanau. SWAT was the one I actually wanted to click on. The Toad. And who else can we do? We can do Norlander and McNamara. And they should be able to deal with that quite simply. I think it may be on the deputies here. Yes, send staff on training. Yes, I do. So I need to send at least 4. But what I'm going to do is wait until the end of the day so I don't actually lose out on them. I think that's a clever thing I'm thinking of here. I could also go to the Atticus Call and do my secret bank account because why the fuck not? And let's see here, how far up can we go? Or we can hold it down, so that's a bit easier, isn't it? So we can take away some money here that won't be taken from us. Or certainly they won't be able to find. I don't know, it'll probably come back to bite us in the arse, but City Hall hasn't really been nice to us so far. So we'll go ahead and be a bit naughty towards them. There we go, 100 and... let's do 156,000, so that looks nice. Into my secret account, which the prosecutor's office won't be able to see in case we get into trouble again. So they can take away bits of that money, but all of that money we put over there, they won't touch. That's very good indeed. Now we have an unlawful assembly at the hospital, St. John's Hospital. Abortion opponents have blockaded a women's clinic. They're acting very aggressively, shouting, "Abortion is murder, abortion is sin. No one dares approach, and the doctors and nurses are afraid to leave the building." That does seem like something the police should attend, doesn't it? We'll get, yeah. Those guys there will keep Coachy and Jane Austen just available for another call. Chances are there will be more. The shooting call cleared right here, and it turns out that the roof is being used for the final skyscraper scene of the action movie Bloody Shirt 5, Johnny's New Look. Wouldn't the police know about those kind of things? I mean, you have to file filming permits. Certainly, I know with City Hall. I also believe you need to do it with the police. I know you have to do that kind of stuff over here anyway. So the police would know about it, so we wouldn't have to send anyone out there because we know they would be doing shooting because, you know, if you're using firearms and that. We need to know so we don't end up rushing into the middle of a set. Anyway, I'll just ignore that whole point there and focus more on the reckless endangerment call from the city centre. A group of pranksters have been tossing purses on the sidewalk tied to a thin thread. Is that a euphemism? Maybe, I'm not sure. They pull the thread attached to the purse and lure curious passers-by into a dumpster in the alley. This is not the first complaint we've got about these pranksters. The other day, one of the victims was so scared when they tossed her in the dustbin, she lost consciousness and still hasn't been recovered. This isn't reckless endangerment, this is abduction. Can we just make it clear? He lost consciousness and still hasn't recovered. Oh, well, she hasn't been recovered is what I read. So technically, it's not abduction, but it's assault, essentially. So we'll get those 2 coppers down there and they can deal with that. They are our best officers, so they will be able to handle that, even though there's just 2 of them. The hospital is requesting assistance, but we don't have anyone available, so we can't give it to them. They'll just have to manage the scene. Unlawful assembly here. Offenders were caught, officers were unharmed, and civilians were unharmed indeed. So we all got a nice little boost, and the women won't be protesting that anymore. Updates now, though, from the reckless endangerment call. There's a $100, there's a $100 bill on the street, and a few teenagers in the alley are poking their heads out from around the corner. quietly enter the alley from the other side, chase the money, or dive into the alley. Quietly sneak up on the bastards from behind, which did work. Fantastic. We now have fraud from the ghetto. A man who wished to remain anonymous told us the address of another man who is engaged in the production and sales of fake document certificates and other papers that are in high demand these days. This guy's price has skyrocketed and the quality is just as bad as before. I had to say that a few times because I could not get that rolled off my tongue. We do not have anyone available. I'm lying. We have 4 officers available. We can send down 2. That shouldn't be any trouble, but probably it is because, you know, document forgery is quite a bad crime. Document forgery? Is that correct? Forging document, I think. I'm getting confused now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We know what I was talking about, don't we? I was just, its words are difficult. Oh, we now have theft from the Atticus Tower. Lots of stuff at the Atticus Tower today. A seller at a gift shop noticed a brightly dressed Mexican woman stuffing a statue of the Freeburg Monument into her bag. She then kept on shopping and trying things on, so I followed her. She paid for everything in cash except the figurine. I asked the security guard to stop her, but some big guy stepped in and the thief escaped. So what we just have is shoplifting, really. There's on 2 officers down there. We have a prompt from the fraud call in the ghetto. No one responds to the knock on the door, so the police knock it down and enter the apartment. A man wearing glasses pops out of a room and presents his federal agent ID. Inspect the ID, salute the man and continue search of apartments. Knocked the document out of his hands and put him in cuffs. Let's try and inspect the ID. No, he got away. Clever him. Clever him. I'll give him that one. Fair play. He did get us there by using a document. We now have a reckless endangerment call, this time from the suburbs. Leroy Everett noticed 2 apparently smoke-filled teenagers sitting on the side of the road, taking turns playing Russian roulette. How can a teenager be smoke-filled is something I'd like to know. I know how the human body works, roughly anyway, I don't know all the details, but I do know that there are orifices in which smoke would leave the body from, like the mouth, the ears, the nose, like the navel, the bum, the thing at the front of us men, and the thing with the women as well. I mean, all of that is what would happen in my mind, so it doesn't work. Anyway, we'll send a couple of coppers out there and watch what they're doing with the Russian roulette. They've called the girl turned out to be pop star Alana Morares, who was visiting Freeburg while on a tour. The big man who stepped in was a bodyguard who was collecting souvenirs in the local shops, and just forget the statuette in his bag. I couldn't fit everything in my hands, apologized Alana. The seller didn't recognize that I don't listen to pop music, but she accepted an autograph from the singer anyway. It's still theft. She didn't pay for something from a shop. It's theft. She should be arrested. Forgetfulness is not acceptable response out here. She could have asked the bodyguard to carry it. It's theft regardless. I just don't care. But now we have a hostage situation with a fatal casualty in the residential area. A passerby saw some masked gunmen flee a bank carrying some big bags and run into an apartment building. It looked like to me like oh god, it's gone wrong. It looked to me like one of the robbers was wounded. So what is this with a fatal casualty? I'm not entirely sure, but we'll send SWAT, we'll send Shanna, we'll send the Toad, McNamara and Coachy down there. Reckless endangerment call from the suburbs. Offenders were caught, officers were unharmed, civilians were unharmed. Technically, the offenders could only harm themselves unless they threw themselves out in front of a bicycle and knocked the rider off. Other than that, it would be pretty difficult. And we now have a suspicious individual call, also from the suburbs. Naomi Rutherford is gravely concerned that the city is being invaded by communists. Well, yes, oh god, there's so many jokes right here that I want to do. None of them are particularly clever or anything, but, with Trump and all, it's low-hanging fruit, that's what we're going in for here. I saw right outside my window a whole family wearing red tracksuits with the letters USSR written on them. I haven't seen anyone holding their hammer and sickle, not yet anyway. But I know it in my heart, it's just like the past 200 years we've shed blood and sweat for this democracy of ours. And we won't just give over to these commies without a fight. I say let them come at us with everything they've got. Well, you don't really have to fight them. They'll just rig your election. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Boop. That's the low-hanging fruit done there. And I'll try and avoid talking about that again because that would obviously piss off everyone. Especially the Russians, the Russian government, that is. A hostage situation with a fatal casualty, though. The doorman is lying unconscious on the floor, the elevator isn't working, and there's traces of blood on the steps. Shake the doorman awake and interrogate him. You got nowhere to run, come out with your hands up, or follow the trail of blood. Let's try and follow the trail of blood, like the police would do. Somewhere near the top of the stairs, a woman screams and there's gunshots. The doorman starts to come around. Interrogate the doorman, run towards the sound and carefully climb the stairs. Let's be careful here, we don't want to rush in and cause issues. There's a corpse of a woman lying in a robe on the staircase. The criminals have holed up in an apartment. Hands up, you're under arrest. Open fire on them or throw stun grenades. I like the idea of throwing multiple stun grenades in. Clearly, it'll just multiply, so they'll just be permanently blind at one point. Loot, found money. Can we sell the mafia? Yeah, we can sell money by the mafia. But yes, that's the thing we can do. Here's a $2 coin or whatever you have with $2 in America. Yeah, go sell that for me. I want you to give me $2 in return. Seems like a terrible business plan, but we're going to have a fight at the Chris G. Sand Arena. A few girls got in a fight while they were waiting in line for tickets to the Larry Pistol concert. Let's get Griffiths, that bloke, and the paddy wagon down there. We have reports of the communist invasion out there in the suburbs. The woman seems to have been startled by the Brin family, immigrants from the Soviet Union, who arrived in town just today and haven't had the time to buy new clothes. So this was set in the 1980s, then at the latest. Because the Soviet Union, was that not dissolved around 1989? Ooh, yeah, it was. That was the whole Berlin Wall and that. So yeah, definitely around there. 3 new frames found with a murder there. We can have a bit of a look-see here and see if we got enough. Oh, we should have enough here. So let's have a look-see and what we have. No, we don't actually have enough to complete this one just yet. Anyway, what about the other thing over here? Yeah, there's no new frames found. Alrighty. Well, hey, I got one! The hit and run incident, I just got it. Henry Sand, a mafia lieutenant of the Sand family. Oh, this is bad, because we already are pretty unfortunate with the Sand family, aren't we? So, we now also have an update from the Christopher G. Sand Arena, where they're requesting backup. Situation more serious than initially thought. We know that it's a fight, so we'll send that down there. And what about over here? We don't have anyone available right now anyway. So we know where it is. It's over there that the... now we can do it here. Let's assign Fal and Norlander and SWAT to go out there and do the arrest of the suspect, Henry Sand. Yeah, I don't think Christopher Sand will be pleased about that, but we got to do what we got to do. We just cleared one of our cold cases. I'm quite pleased about that one. The fight call has been cleared. Offenders called, officers unharmed, civilians were unharmed, so obviously the fight wasn't that bad. And the hit and run case over here, we caught the offender. All was good. We were able to arrest all the suspects. Everyone gets a boost. And we can actually celebrate that one, I think. Pretty chuffed about it. We got one of the suspects in the case. Now, though, on day 88, classroom horrified when failed chemistry experiment claims teachers live. Farmers grow record-breaking zucchini. What's that? Anyway, Port Union threatened strike. Moreover, would we not be called out to a gone wrong chemistry experiment in a classroom? That does seem like something the police would attend. We didn't get a call about that, so it probably didn't happen in our city. Down here, Mafia still... We haven't lost popularity with the Mafia. We've just remained at the same level, which is good. I don't think they'll murder us with just 2 red thumbs. I think we need 3 red thumbs for that. Gosh, Kov didn't come to work today. Well, that's not nice. And you've been taking antidepressants 3 times a day, but today I ran out of my prescription. The pharmacy said that they're getting more in tomorrow, but I'm afraid that the pills are not going to be much good. My mind keeps digging up all kinds of disturbing thoughts. Can I go home? My question is, are you better off at work surrounded by people, or at home where you are possibly alone all day if you're feeling a bit depressed? That's kind of something you've got to weigh off here, but we'll give him the day off, just on the off chance, and we'll just make a mental note that I will forget in about 2 minutes that Threadaway has had to take the day off, and we'll start the day. What do we have here? Henry Sand turned out to be a member of the gang known as Sands. He could help you take down the gang if you make him an informant. Oh, what a surprise. We didn't know about the Sands before. Hang on. This means that I can actually take out one of the people that I have to please. I'm very much interested in this. Very good. So we're getting into the late stages of this game. We are now going after Christopher G. Sand. Jack, now that you've started looking into members of the Mafia, you have to be careful. If they find out about this, you're dead. The worse your relationship with the Mafia, the more likely they'll start to suspect something is wrong. Right, so from this time on, I will have to actually play this nice. Actually be nice with the Mafia so we don't make them too suspicious of our business over here. So we can investigate him here. I'll read this. You can pause the video now, but I'll read this off camera. I changed my mind and I will actually read this out loud to you because it's perhaps a bit important. So, Henry Sand, male, aged 50, medical examination. He was born with a defective heart valve. His doctors have urged him to avoid any sort of strong physical exertion. I was about to say strong physical contact, but I think that goes for us all. Additional information, Henry Sand wanted to be a football player and was doing well on the school team, but a weak heart prevented him from playing football on a professional level. Sports taught Henry how to endure physical pain. He never cared much for his studies, but family connection got him into college, and it was there that he met his future wife. They had a daughter, Mary Ann, and Henry... and Henry, that's a separate line. That's not a child called Henry. He's actually called Henry himself. So Henry started working at the Sands parking garage. One day he fell asleep at the wheel and flew off the road into the river and nearly drowned his wife and daughter. From the severe stress of this experience, he developed aquaphobia. At 41, Henry Sand was initiated into the family business and started managing the transportation side of Sand Mafia's organization. His daughter is a successful ballerina, and Henry likes to talk about her talent. When he was 49 years old, he suffered a heart attack and was briefly declared clinically dead. He now wears a pacemaker in his chest. Henry Sand's medical bills have driven him into debt. He always thought the family wasn't paying him enough, but unlike some people he could name, he never goes behind the boss's back or skims off the top. So he is an honest mafia person, which is rather interesting here, so we're about to interview him. Hello, Henry Sand. I saw your daughter at the premiere of Giselle. She was gorgeous. I know you work for the Mafia. Help me and I'll put you behind bars for the rest of my life. John Passy was a scumbag and he deserved to die. Ooh, I know he's a thing, but it's been a long time. I don't recall what. Let's try and go with a nice bit there. Yes, my wife and I are very proud of Marianne. And now we can ask Henry, think about your family. What will happen if you go to jail for avenging your daughter? Who will pay for her medical bills? Let me tell you how it happened. You pulled an untraceable car out of your fleet of vehicles. You tracked down John Passy, run him over, and then get rid of the car. You're going to confess. If you don't, I'll tell your boss you've been skimming money. That seems a bit wrong. We'll try and be nice and appeal to him, and hopefully get him to talk over that way. But be a man and take responsibility for what you did, or your heart won't be able to handle prisons you've already nearly died once. I know some people in your organisation are skimming money off the top. You hear any stories about that? Yeah, let's try and go in here. Yeah, see, we're winning him over here. We're talking to him and we're getting him on our side. We're showing that we're interested in him and that we are nice people. I hereby swear that George Sand stole some antique guns and pocketed the money that the Sand family allocated for their purchase. Right. We can't really use that for anything because it's criminal, but we can start an investigation into it. Let's see here. Oh, we don't actually have anyone working today that's actually capable of doing this, is there? We may have to move some people around. Mole, yeah, we'll need to just quickly go into our investigations. See here which one's Mole. He's working on a homicide. Detectives, we can't remove the lead. No, we can't. So what I'll have to do is archive this case. Assign her as lead over here with, who can we assign with? Shano, maybe. Sharo. No, so that's Sharo. Go in here. Let's actually just do a double investigation team on it so they can handle that. City Hall. Oh, Christ, I forgot about that. Now we have an abduction on Route 22. A witness found a rusty white truck that's wanted in connection with a schoolyard kidnapping of 13-year-old Tanya Rodriguez. The machine is sitting in a field. There's been no movement or sign of life for over 2 hours. So let's get Jensen, Dixon, and J-Dogs, and the Vars there and have a bit of a look-see about. Then we need to go in here. We got to go in and now also I think go into archive. We just activated this one, or rather did. Yeah, I know what I'm saying, people. I know what I'm saying. proceed here. And then let's have a look at the other investigations. If there's anyone, for example, over here. Oh, no, but they're all off duty, so no, that's not going to work, is it? Let's go in and see who's available down here, though. No, that's working today. Home, 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 home. And they're all here. So if I'm clever me, which I am, I'll actually archive this again, and I'll assign it to somebody working tomorrow. Is anybody here working today? Yes, she is, so we can get Thread away. Okay, yes, we can get Johnson on this one. So the German fire engine has a bit of help today. Other than that, we will have to just leave it as it is. We also have to send some people away on classes today. Let's go ahead. Police Academy. We need to send at least 4 people over here. Who can we send? Oh, but they're on call. The people I want to send are on call right now because they are the worst officers down here and they do need it. So we'll wait just a little while and we'll get that sorted. Mafia assignment. We have something going down at the port today. We wouldn't want any policemen crashing the party. I think $1,000 should be enough for such a request. You are right. Port 1449. We are not going to be anywhere near that. 50-year-old Amanda Price attacked a young waitress. Claimed that... We now have an assault at the Octopus restaurant. 50-year-old Amanda Price attacked a young waitress, claiming the girl was flirting with her husband. Amanda grabbed the waitress by the hair and dragged her across the floor, yelling, "You've bent over so far your tits almost flopped on the menu." I mean, that's a win-win, isn't it? We'll get down those two. No, we don't. We want those to be available to go to the little thingy. Assign little and foul. The abduction call is popping up here with a lovely little red thing. Suddenly strange sounds start coming from the van. The windows are frosted over, so it's impossible to tell what's inside. Open the door, run into the forest and watch the truck from a safe distance. Or knock on the door. Let's try and just knock. Inside there's a man and a girl playing with dolls. Grab the man by the neck and arrest him. Take the girl away and tell her she can finish playing in the police car and then arrest the man. Beat the man senseless. Let's take her away and just be a bit, sensitive and human about the whole thing, which worked out very well for us. And with the abduction call done, we now have terrorism in the suburbs. Somehow, I doubt it. Mr. Norris called to report an explosion. I was in the kitchen making an omelette with bacon and suddenly, bang! The explosion shook my windows. I'm a former military man and I'd say it was about 10 pounds of TNT, no less. Well, are you sure it's not just a demolition company working in the area, sir? We'll get a couple of coppers down and have a bit of a look around, but don't expect anything. Report from the assault. Offender caught, officers unharmed, civilians unharmed. All in all, a good result. We now have everyone back. That's a bit crap, so we can get in touch with our deputy and send some people away on their training. Mr. Spanky, the boss. No, I want to... Oh, do I have to pay for each and every one? Okay. Yeah, we can do this, and then one, and then Mr. Spanky, and who else can we go in here? Larry King, off you go. That's 3, and then number 4 is J-Dogs. So, at the very least, we'll be doing that. And City Hall sent to Academy. Keep up the good work, and we will make sure the final days at the Freebeck PD are much more comfortable. Thank you. We have an abuse of authority at the City Hall. Young businessman Rasul Haddad came to the police about minor city official Jasper Redmond, who is demanding a bribe of $20,000. Otherwise, he's refusing the necessary permits for Haddad's store. The businessman has volunteered to pretend he's delivering the bribe so the police can catch Redmond in the act. Now, this is the kind of people I want to get. So I want to get my best people on this one. Yeah, those will do. They are probably my best people. Some of my best, anyway. They'll go down there and they'll make that bust for us. Good job, chaps. Perhaps I was a bit premature. We now have results from the terrorism call, though. We're performing major renovations in the house. The man heard them doing some demolition, as I suspected. Oh dear, we don't know anything about the port. Oh dear, what's going on? Yeah, abuse of authority, City Hall. Lots of stuff happening right here. Let's deal with this. The police are in the office as soon as the money changes hands. Redmond tries to quickly hide in a large parcel in a drawer. Show what's in the package. Search the desk. Beat confession out of him. Let's show us what's in the package. The official quickly jumps and rushes towards the window, trying in vain to get it to open. Chase him out onto the street. Yeah, grab him and get him on the ground. That does seem like the right move. Instead of just chasing after him, we can just grab him, throw him on the ground and cuff him, which worked out well. What about this? Attempted carjacking at the port. The port employees saw 2 men trying to break into a truck. They were unable to get it started, so they unhooked the truck's trailer and are now trying to make off with it. Well, that's at the port, so rather unfortunately, we can't deal with that. A young sailor reported an attempt on his life. I was just swinging around close to the shore when I felt someone's slippery fingers catch my ankle and try to drag me down. I barely escaped. You can laugh, but I know for a fact it was definitely a mermaid. I was in the Navy. I know all about them. Oh, I don't think you do, but we'll send down 2 officers and have a bit of a chat just in case there are mermaids. Now we have a homicide in the Sawmill neighbourhood. 24 homeless people have settled outside the city where they've organised a small camp. They are very aggressive to strangers. They attack and beat outsiders and, according to rumour, kill them and sometimes even eat them. The anonymous source also says to look at their gardens. They grow narcotics beside the vegetables. We'll give this a bit of a wait out here and see who actually comes back from a call. Yeah, we just had pretty much everyone come back right there. We even have a couple of officers available that were previously on training, but I don't think I can actually assign them yet. We'll get Jensen, Corbulus, Dixon. Well, we'll pretty much just get everyone, won't we? Kind of need to down there, and then the paddy wagon as well. They can always... Oh dear, that's... Yeah, just keep you on it. Thank you kindly. I don't know, these should be available. Jack, one of our guys stole substantial shipment and disappeared somewhere in the warehouse district. We don't have time to play detective in there, so we'd like you to give us a little professional help. Well, Mr. Spanky and that bloke there, they can go down there, even though we just spent money on them. Shooting at the suburbs. Oh, Christ. Attempted carjacking. Offender escaped. Yes! They didn't kill anyone. That's all I wanted from you. Thank you kindly. We now get more dosh. Attempt at murder. The sailor's leg was snagged in an overgrown fleshy algae that grows near the shore. Shooting in the burbs. Let's see here. Mr. Norris are called in... Oh, okay, I'm getting confused now. Mr. Norris called in. Oh, hang on. You don't have to hang on. I can edit that out, but I just had to say that because I had to do an edit. Sorry, I'm confusing myself. Mr. Norris called in about some shots he heard from the street. I was frying a steak in the kitchen and I heard several sharp claps. I think it was an M16. I'm ex-military, so I know what I'm saying. You better watch out. Those are some big guns. Well, we can get those coppers out of there and get SWAT. And just have a bit of a look-see about. They can always request assistance. I think Fal and Little are coming back here in a moment, so it will be all good. Oh, fuck off. I'm running out of officers. Homicide at the Sawmill neighbourhood. Spotting the police. 3 residents off the camp draw some strange knives and rush to attack. Open fire on them. 5 shots in the air or try to calm them down. 5 shots in the air to get them to calm down. A grubby woman with a baby in her arms crawls out of one tent and runs toward the police. My son, take my son away from here. Shoot the woman. Don't move or we'll shoot. Pick up the woman and child. That may have been a distraction technique. Tactical. Yeah, you know what I meant. Ficus? What's that? What's ficus? It's just a tree. What does it matter? It's just a tree. It's a tree. Just bring it to the police station. And hopefully officers will soon be available to deal with the human trafficking. I mean, it's all happening now. Let's go to the disorderly conduct call at a drugstore. An elderly woman made a scandalous accusation at the pharmacy. She claimed that the pharmacist substituted her medication and because of them she was gaining weight. Look at these wrinkles, it's disgusting. Then the outraged woman took off her dress. Ooh, yeah, we want to get like an officer down there and deal with that, don't we? Shooting report came in. There was a children's birthday party going on in the house beside Mr. Norris. The guest popped a few balloons and Mr. Norris confused the pops with guns. That's alright though. I hope we'll have people back in a jiff. Or we do indeed have everything back that we need, I think. Well, we don't have SWAT, but we can't use SWAT, so it doesn't matter anyway. An informant reports that some containers are being smuggled into the port. The illegal immigrants hiding inside are to be sold as slaves, and the shipment is accompanied by armed guards. We'll get a paddy wagon. No SWAT support is available. We'll get Mr. Spanky, J-Dogs, Jensen, pretty much everyone. Let's try and get a couple of higher quality officers down there as well, just in case. We now have assault at the Rubinovich Casino. A man who lost a large sum of money at the poker table attacked the female dealer. We'll get McNamara and that person there, the canoe or whatever. Disorderly conduct report coming in out there. Offender was scored. Officer unharmed. I don't know who we arrested. Hopefully the woman, because she got naked and accused people of stuff they probably didn't do. Oh, we have lots of stuff going on. Let's start with the human trafficking. Offenders were caught. Officers were unharmed. Non-automatic weapons were found. Bring them all to the station. Theft, we got 3 new frames. That's good progress. Abduction, no new frames. Double homicide, no new frames. And no new frames. Alright then, now here we got the assault at the Rubinovich Casino. Why are you cheating, bitch? The man in the yellow jacket is pointing a gun right at the girl's face. Casino security are cautiously watching the action from behind the slot machines. Pocket a few chips on the table. Dude, where'd you get that gorgeous jacket? I'll pull a gun out and shoot the man. Yeah, we probably want to shoot him. He's squeezing the girl's hand, saying, I know how to put an end to your sleight of hand. Let's see how well your palm cuts when you're missing your fingers. Bet it all on red, shoot the man with a taser. I just shot him already! You there, throw down the weapon or you'll be shot. Believe me, I don't bluff. I already shot him. I already gave the order to fire. So we'll just shoot him. That's it, our officer's unharmed, civilians unharmed. Well, she's probably got some sort of PTSD from having a gun pointed at her and threatened and all of that business. But other than that, no harm done. And we come to the end of the day. Everyone has returned back here, and let's see what we find over here. Yeah, they've all been trained up, or they are in the process of being trained up. Everyone here is... Well, everyone's kind of tired, really, aren't they? So, yeah, who can we ask? We can ask the Canoe and the Gar. He's come a long way, hasn't he? And Jensen and the Vars to come to work again tomorrow. And I think we'll end the day here. It's been... yeah, oh God, I've gone wrong again. Yeah, this is the police, and tomorrow there will be LSPD VAR if I have a chance. Tomorrow will be really packed for me, so I don't know if I'll have a video tomorrow. So don't bet your bets, or place your bet, or hedge your bet, or whatever you want to say. Don't know if there'll be a video tomorrow. I'll be kind of busy running all over the place. Anyway, thank you for watching, and goodbye.